Good morning, it's Miss Myers, and I'm here to show you a really great project. This is an upper grade project on how to make your own drum pad. Now, some of you might have been wanting to make your own drum pad at home since you can't borrow the ones at school. And so this is a really easy craft that you can use with some things that you have at your home and other things that you can get really easy access to. Okay, so this is what your list is of what you're going to be needing. I'll let you screenshot that so you can have the list. You're going to need a mouse pad, which is what is our foam source. You need a foam so that the drumsticks will bounce on the top of your pad. You're going to need a wood plaque to mount it to, and you're going to need some glue. Now, there's going to be some other things you might need, but we'll go over those as we go along. This is a really easy project, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is. Okay, first thing that you're going to need is a piece of foam. Now, this is a mouse pad, and you can get these at Office Depot. You can get them at any store. It can have a design on it. It doesn't matter. You're going to cover it up. Okay, that's one option. You can also use craft foam, anything that you happen to have around your house. I happen to have these two door hanger crafts, and of course I can't use it with a hole in it, so if I was going to use these, I would cut them off and then I could lay them on my board, and that would be for in place of my foam. But I actually have a mouse pad, so I'm going to use that. The next thing you're going to need is a wooden board. Now, this is shelf board, and this is something that can be got at Home Depot. Or here's another hack that's really easy. You can also get this at a craft store. This is a pre-cut, already finished piece of board that a lot of people do crafts things with. You can paint it, you can mount things on it, things like that. But it's already finished, it's sanded, you don't have to do anything to it. And look, if I take my mouse pad, it can just sit right on there and I don't even have to cut it. Okay, so that would be ideal if this is what you had. Okay, so you can use whichever of those things you have. If you do have a board like this, or if it had to be cut, make sure that you get some sandpaper and you sand the edges of it so that you don't end up with any splinters, okay, if you're using a piece of wood that was just recently cut, okay? All right, so here's my board, but you notice that my mouse pad is too big to go on my board, okay? So that's really easy to do. You turn it over and you mark a line on both sides and then just trim that off, okay? Here, I'll show you one that I already did. This one is already trimmed off, so I just cut off the edge. Okay, it'll probably cut easier after you glue it on the board. So let me show you how you would glue it on the board. Okay, you could use a couple of different things depending on what you happen to have at your home. The glue is really just to keep the pad from moving around. So one option is you can get adhesive pads. Okay, those could be stuck on the back of your mouse pad. Okay, and then used to attach to your board. That's one option. You can use just plain old white glue, okay, and that will do fine. Although if you use plain white glue, you'll have to allow it to dry before you do the next step of your project, okay? And then you could do what I did, which was use a hot glue gun, okay? And so I used a hot glue gun to glue my pad onto my board, okay? So it doesn't take a whole lot of glue. It just takes a couple of dots here and there, and then just let it sit right there, and then you can cut it off, okay? All right, so that's that step. And then here comes the really fun step. Once you get your finished board, you get to wrap it in duct tape. Lots and lots and lots of duct tape. And so I'll show you how you get that started. Is you get your duct tape. And I usually like to start with just a nice long piece of it, because for this part of it, you're going to go around the edges, okay? So this is so that I don't have raw edges. So I'm going to go down the length of my board, okay? Then I'm going to wrap it all the way around. And see, that one didn't quite make it all the way around, so I'm going to do it again. Actually, before I put that piece on, I'm going to go ahead and start tacking down on the board. And you just fold it over. And you don't have to worry about little bits of excess here and there, because you're going to just wrap it in another layer of duct tape. There's that one. And here's my extra piece. So I'm going to line it up so it goes around, again, around the edge, covering up all the raw edges. There. Okay, so now I have all of my raw edges done, and now I'll show you the next part. So you can see what I've done is I've wrapped the edges all the way around with duct tape, okay? And it leaves a few little flaps and things like that, but don't worry about that because you're going to cover that up in the next step, which is where I'm going to make a long bit of this, and I'm going to stick it on the front of my drum. And I'm just going to start smashing it down. And then I'm going to go all the way around to the other side. And then I'm going to cut it off. Okay, whoops. So you're going to smash that all down. So there's one layer. Guess what? We have to cover this whole thing. So that's what I'm going to do next. Hi, okay, so you can see exactly what we've done. We've put duct tape all over this. And I like to do it in neat rows because it's really easy to see where you can fix the overlapping if you missed a spot. Okay, and you want to make sure that all of it is overlapping, all the pieces of tape overlap so that you don't have any pieces of it that are trying to come up. But the great thing is it's duct tape. You can fix it anytime you want. Speaking of duct tape, we're going to decorate it now. Now I happen to have some really cool green duct tape. Now you can use any other decorative type of duct tape that you want. This is the fun part. I'm just going to put some green on my corners, because that gives it kind of a nice finished look. See, now I have a green corner. And I can do that with this corner. And I can do that with this corner. That's one of the reasons why I like pre-cutting tape, because things go a lot faster. And once again, it is so easy to fix. We've had these at our school for probably the last 6 to 8 years. And we've been able to keep reusing a whole set of them year after year, because anytime they start to, lose their shape or need a little tender loving care, we just fix them with more duct tape. There you go. It's a finished drum pad, and it's got a pretty nice bounce when it comes to getting a stick to rebound, okay? And of course, it's not going to be as loud as a real one, but it's great if you don't have anything else to play on. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our project today.